Hey everybody, coming at you from out in the actual wilderness. Now, it is the end of August, but today we had a freak act of nature, high of 82 Fahrenheit and low humidity. So I thought, you know something, I'm going to go out and do a little bit of cooking and some experimenting. Now, I love the idea of just being able to just walk around. Now, I love machetes, saws, and axes, but I love the idea of just being able to just pick up twigs off the forest floor and cooking with them. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to use a backpacker style 4-dog stove, and I'm going to use a backpacker folding style emberlit stove, and I'm going to cook a couple of eggs on those, and then I'm going to try to find some rocks, and I'm going to try to set rocks up and try to cook it with twigs in the same manner, just to see how it acts, because these little twig stoves are designed with airflow in mind. The way they got the 4-dog has the venturi in the bottom, and then the emberlit's got the little holes in the bottom. But I'm going to see what happens if you just stack up a couple of rocks and try to cook on it and see if there's really no difference. So it's like backpacker style versus bushcraft style. Primitive cooking on rocks. Alright, so let's get this packed down on the ground, and I'm going to gather up some twigs and let's set our stoves up. Alright, y'all ready? So this looks like a pretty good spot right here. Let's take this thing off. I got me a canteen with some water. Get this backpack off, and then I'll show you. This seems like this is an area where I can do a good job of clearing out for leaves. So let's take a look in here real quick. Got me some gloves. I like to carry these little mats here, that way I don't lose everything. Let's put that right there in between the trees. And whenever I go on like these day hikes, I kind of like to dump everything out, you know, so I can kind of just reach around and grab everything. Now, I did bring a knife, because I probably have to make a few shavings to help get the fire going. And there's a little trick with the twigs I'm going to show you. I don't know if I can do it or not. Got some bread, piece of leather. Now, I did bring a machete, but like I said, I'm not going to be using the machete. I never go out without a machete. There's certain things that the woodsman or woods person won't go out without. So, but we're going to be picking twigs up off the ground. All right, I got a pot with a pan with a spatula. I got my eggs and something to drink in here. Fire kit. Now, this is the nuts and bolts of the video. Right, let's set this pack right here. This is a 4-dog stove. It's made out of titanium. And as you can see, it's double wall. It's got the holes in the inside. It's got the holes on the bottom. It's got a venturi on the bottom with a flat bottom. This thing creates a volatilization to where it's a double burn. When wood burns in a campfire, there's volatiles and flames and fumes that come off wood gas. And what this does is it reburns, it creates a venturi and a swirl and reburns. Now this, look how small that is. This is an emberlit. Let me show you this. Some of you may have seen this before. This is an emberlit stove. It is a completely folding stove. I haven't put it together in years, but it's real thin titanium. Let's see if we can put this thing together real quick. If I can remember how. I may not. Let's see, the dirty part goes inside. Let's see, this thing goes, see, it slips together like this. Nope, that ain't how it slips together. That doesn't look right. The black part goes inside. The top is supposed to be level. Alright, that's how it goes, because you want the top of it level just like that. But this thing right here, you can't beat this thing for being super lightweight. Alright, the sooty part goes inside. Let's see, this thing goes together just like this. It's got some clips. I think this thing's made in Canada. So let's see. It says Amberlit UL, Amberlit Ultralight. That's the front because it doesn't have a slot. So this goes, okay, the black sooty part. That's what you do, is after you've used this a few years, and then this folds in together. After you've used this thing for a few years, okay, so it goes together right there and it's got a bottom. And see how it's got these holes in here? That's what creates that draw. And see, the beauty of this thing, you know, the part that's no good about it, that I don't like about it, is about how you have to put it together. But it's ultra portable. And it takes a little bumbling to put together, but once you get it put together, there it is right there. Alright, so that thing's done. You can see they're kind of similar in size. And this thing is just all one piece, but you gotta worry about these little things at the top poking into your pack. So I usually just put my eating pan over it. Oh, the other thing too, I think this is a pot holder or a pan holder too. These things go together. And I think, if I remember right, I think those sit on the top. I can't remember. I think that's how they work. They got some, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to tell me if I've done it wrong. But I think that is, but it's weird because it's got those tabs. Oh, I get it. Okay. Okay, those of you that's about to comment on how I don't know what I'm doing, you can erase your comments because I just figured it out. That thing goes in that way. All right, let's go pick some twigs up so that we can start a fire. See, it's really just that easy. I mean, I didn't walk but 20 feet away and I got 2 handfuls of this stuff. Now, hopefully this is going to cook our eggs. So I'm going to pile it right over there and then we'll clear out a spot and try to get it going. Look at that. Right down to the dirt, just like that. Well, and a rock. That's why you don't clear with a machete. You use a trenching tool. Alright. Now I don't have to clear out, normally you want to clear out with a campfire, you want to clear out a huge area. But these are stoves, so, you know, they're pretty much contained. Let's turn this way and let's turn this way. Right, I'm going to kind of push it in the ground a little bit. And that's pretty level like it is. Alright, so what we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife. Let me pull you in a little bit here. This is irritating. I can't see you. I'm going to be constantly moving the camera up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife now. Instead of, that's another thing, is instead of bringing, like, you know, I like cotton balls and those little wax makeup pads and little fire starters, but you know, oftentimes I like to, like I said, I just like to just pick everything up from the forest. So what I'll do is I'll take one of these sticks here and I'm just going to try to make some shavings that I'm going to light. Let's see if we can do this. Let me move this thing over. There's knots in there. Now that's not good. Alright. Now I think, let me cut all those off. Just rock it back and forth. Did you hear that? Something big back there moving. Let me just break it off. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to light these and drop them in the bottom. We're going to use this one first and then we'll go to the other one. Let's see if we can do this. I'll see how fast I can go through this little process here. Alright, I'm going to throw some of these pieces that fell off in here. And I'm going to have to move fast. Alright, let's put the knife back in here. Alright, got me a lighter and a backup lighter. Alright, let's put this back where it is. It's just a little bit of stuff in there. Let's light this off. It's nice and dry. Alright, let's let that catch on for a minute. Turn it up, let it catch on a little bit. I give it a little bit more. This stuff always works better when you do that. And so I'll let the flames get to a point to where I can't hold it. Right there. Alright, now we're going to start putting in the twigs. Small stuff goes in first. Usually I have a lot more shavings than this. But, let's see what this does. Oh no, it went out. I might have some more shavings. No, wait a minute, there it goes. Let's get this over here to where you can look inside. Oh. Yeah, you can see inside there. Alright, now see, look at that. Nothing to it, twigs. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep on putting all these little twigs in there. The smaller the better. If you don't know the principles of tinder, kindling, and fuel, you need to learn. It'll make life a lot easier. Now since these are flaming up here, just like that, you want to put these all around it. Now, that was one branch. So what I'm going to do, let's crank this up some. I may need to back this up a little bit. Yeah, look at him. Woo, look at that. Alright. Where's my pan? Now what I want to do is I want to preheat my pan. I got one of them fancy little stick, one of them non-stick pans. That ought to be enough for one egg. Now see how easy that is with a twig stove right there? These old junky Coleman pans, they're not really good for anything. Except for eating. They're not good for cooking. Because you put anything liquid in them and they just kind of tilt over. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to preheat the pan. Now you want the handle away from the flames. Oh no, look at that. The pan won't sit on it. Oh, I should have brought the other pan. Oh no. Well, that's a bummer. Dang, I should have brought the other pan, but I thought this one pan would be good enough. I had a pan that was just a little bit bigger, but it won't work on that. Oh well. Hey, well, I guess I could... I don't know. I don't know if I want to cook on this thing or not. I guess I could. Nah, that's non-stick. I'm going to eat out of that. Dang, I can't believe that. Well, if you got a pan this small, they won't fit on that one. See, it just kind of falls in, but it'll work on this one. Oh yeah, it'll work on that one, no problem. Well, maybe, just maybe, let's try this. Let's see if I can pick that up and just dump it into that other one. Oh, it got hot quick. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. That's why you gotta have leather gloves. Let's pick all this stuff up and throw it in here. This is Dave's humor hour. Oh, see, these are those real thick climbing gloves. So, I think that'll be no problem. Alright, let's try to get some more stuff in here, some more small stuff in here. Let's see if we can get this thing stoked back up on its own without having to add a bunch of fine shavings. Maybe if I put enough stuff in here. Let's see, this is a pretty good experiment too, just to see if you can revitalize a fire just by putting this stuff in. Just by putting twigs in. You're supposed to put some in here on the side. I'm going to put them right over here where this stuff is. Is the smoke hitting the camera? Yeah, it's coming up. But I think this will be interesting. That depresses me because this thing over here, this thing does a great job. But you better check your pan first because this has got cross pieces. It'll take anything. Look at that! Look at that! It's coming back to life. And you saw how little was in there that was flamed up. That's awesome. Now I'm going to try to not use my knife. I'm going to try to just break everything up. Okay, now that we got that going, let's take a bigger piece. Let's break some bigger pieces in there so that we'll have a little bit of flame for a little bit of time. That way we can cook. We'll cook two eggs, and then we'll go. See, that'll give us the energy to go look for some rocks. Alrighty. See, that is so cool right there. That is just, you know, you dump a few. That's the way dry twigs are when it hasn't rained for a while. Alright. Now let's let that get going a minute. Now the beauty of titanium is you can heat it, heat it, heat it. Let's go ahead and preheat the pan. Got me some eggs. I got, look, orange crush. Alright, I'm preheating the pan. That way when I dump the egg in, we'll cook 2 eggs in here. I'll dump them in here. Looks like a good place to put it. Hey, I could have kept some coals in there to keep my eggs cool. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. Man, that pan was hot. It instantly cooked. See, it instantly scorched everything that touched the side. Cooking with twigs, I love this. You just it's just so cool. I mean, and this is such a tiny little oven. Now see, that on the sides is just going to blacken. And then I'll just scrape it off because it's a non-stick pan. I think that might be plenty cooked enough for me. Yeah, that on the sides right there. I'm going to try a little bit different on the next one. So let's dump that in there. Alright, now see all that brown stuck on the sides? See if we can scrape it out. Nah. Well, yeah. It's slowly coming undone. That fire's dying down. Somebody told me one time that you can put water in here while it's still hot and it shocks it. But I don't know if it's good for the coating or not. Look at that. It's good enough for me. Now these things right here are good for like 500 degrees. Silicone. Alright, let's get another. I'm trying. Yeah, now that's what I want to do, is I want to get that off the sides. I think I had it too hot the first time. The whole time I'm slowly peeling this away from the sides because everything that's on the side is getting done. Yeah, just slowly peeling that sides away. Y'all hear that big old bug flying around? Ooh, it's getting kind of hot. It's funny, the part where my hand is holding the pan is not hot. See, I'm not wasting any. Pan was way too hot the first time. I'll be able to eat this whole egg. I wonder if I can dump these back in and keep them warm. Yeah. Alright, I'm fixing to eat these. Look at that. I love eggs. Alright, let's see. Let's set this here and this here. We'll just let that die down. I forgot the pepper. Now this is done heated up, this entire pan. It's so hot I can barely hold it. That's so good. I was going to make an egg sandwich, but I'm out later. This is pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to finish eating these and then I'm going to go hunt for some rocks. Now, when you use rocks, never get them from a creek or by a river, because if they're wet, when you heat them up, the water inside turns to steam and the steam can't escape fast enough, and so the rocks explode. So don't ever use wet rocks. Oh, another thing. There's like 20 amino acids known to man, 20 essential amino acids. Eggs contain 18 of them. I think it's 18. Don't quote me on that, but they're very healthy. They give you tons of energy. This is a good spot here. There's 3 of them right here. Ah, that one's too big. Ah, that might be too big. I don't know, but I'll carry it over there anyway, because these are going to fit together like a jigsaw puzzle, because you want an opening small enough that your pan will fit on. Look at that. Let's try something with these leaves this time instead of the little curls. Now when you're searching for these rocks, you want to gather as many as you can find, because it's going to kind of go together like a jigsaw puzzle. And you want to leave, if you can, you want the gaps to be at the bottom. You don't want gaps all the way around. That way, if you got the gap at the bottom, it'll draw air into the bottom to feed the bottom of the fire and allow the heat to rise up. So it's just like an outdoor jigsaw puzzle. And one more. Alright, now one of the things that you really need to do before you get started is you can't rely on the rocks to necessarily give you the draw of air. So what I like to do is I like to dig just a little bit of a trench right there. Let's see. You can always save that dirt. You want the trench to go under one of the rocks. Man, this is some loose dirt. You want one to go under one of the rocks to help feed the fire. So let's start out with, you want a big rock about like that. See if we can find another one. That's, see, the pan ain't gonna sit on that one. How about like that? Yeah, I think the pan will sit like that. And it helps to have a bigger pan too, but you know, for you backpackers, you're like minimalist. Oh, now look at that. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe over here a bit. See that right there? That's what you want, something real small. Now, let's try another little trick that'll open that fire up further. Oh, let's get you on down here where you can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to put a rock right here. This is really too big. I need a smaller rock. And then I want to put this rock, well, oh yeah, look at that. Now see what that's doing is that's kind of blocking it off, and there's a hole right here now. See this? See what the top looks like? Look at that. See, that did not take that long. Alright, I'm going to raise you up high. And look, and that's got a neat place that I can set that. So let's put some twigs in here and get this thing going. Let's take these leaves right over here I was telling you about. Dump all them inside. See, this way if you just got a lighter, and you ain't gonna make no shavings. Now see, that's gonna be a pretty good bed right there. Those are so dry. Now it ain't gonna take long to catch that on. So I'm clearing some more of this stuff away from here. Alright, where's my lighter? Let's take this. Get rid of the leaf. Slide all this up. Hold it upside down, and it goes out. Put that in there. Slide that leaf up. Set a few leaves over. See what that does. A lot of times dry leaves don't do that good without stoking. Nah, it ain't doing very good. I'm gonna have to have a couple of curls. I gotta have something that's gonna sustain some flames for a minute. Let's get a few curls off of this. Put a few curls in there. Then we're going to light this curl. Sometimes it just doesn't take that many curls. Now hopefully these leaves are going to catch on and everything's just going to fall in. Because as you notice, so far no machete, no saw, no axe. Here in a minute, that thing's going to flame up. Whew. Now you want as many of the twigs vertical. You can see that hole underneath. It's starting to draw air. See, that air draw should get rid of all those leaves. And once that burns down just a little, we'll start cooking. Now I'm going to put a couple of more twigs in here before I start cooking. Now, like I said, you want to drop them in if you can, straight up and down. You don't really want them laying in there. Now that fire's burnt tremendously over on the side where the air hole is. There's a lot of heat coming off there. Alright, let's put that there. I'm going to let that warm up. See if this pan's getting hot enough. Nah, it ain't hot enough. It ain't doing anything so far, but cooking slow is better. See the sides here. Now see, this whole deal is a much slower process. Much slower. So this primitive style ain't for everybody. Yeah, that is nowhere near hot enough. I got a little hole here. I'm gonna put some twigs in. And see, that's the idea behind the twig stove right there, is you've got coals, but then when you want flames, you add a few twigs. And it can't be wood, it's got to be twigs. Oh, now see, this is all turning white. I was busy yakking to the camera. I wasn't paying attention to my egg. See, now the flames are starting to die down a little bit because I boosted it up with the twigs. That's the difference between a twig fire and a wood fire. Okay, now see, look, it's back down to coals. See that? Very little heat. We want to kick it back up a notch. Let's put some more twigs in and see what happens. Because I'm sure there's, like I said, there's going to be some naysayers that are going to be like, oh, this is just a campfire. No, it's a twig fire. Of course, this is probably going to make me look bad because it won't burst up in flames here in a minute. Wow, I didn't put that many twigs in there. Alright, burst back into flames now, please. And then when I do the other egg, I'll have another handful of twigs here. Of course, this pan's pretty hot. Yeah, that egg is about done. That egg is plenty done enough for me. So let's just dump it in there. Now that thing wasn't super heated like the first one. I can eat almost all of that egg. See that? Coals, okay? Now it's like a campfire. Look, I'm taking all this stuff, all this tiny stuff. Just gonna have a big handful of this and I'm gonna drop it straight in. You drop it straight in, it seems like the air gets to flowing through it to it better. Alright, see, this is a handful. See that? This is a handful of tiny, tiny stuff. You want to break it up evenly. Alright, now, let's move this out of the way. Alright, now, watch this. I'm going to take this. Let's just dump it straight in. Alright, now, let's watch what happens. I'm going to eat this while we're watching. Ooh, still hot. I ain't gonna blow on it. Well, I guess I could. Come on. Look, got ash all in the thing. That thing's going to take off in a minute. Ah, see? There you go. You just got to be patient. Remember that Axl Rose guy? Just a little patience. Yeah. Guns N' Roses. That was very popular when I was young. See, look at that. It probably would have done that if I hadn't even done anything to it. Alright, now these twigs have given me a massive burst of heat. So I'm going to preheat my pan. Look at that. Preheating the pan. Let it die down for a minute. And see, the thing is, like I say, the forest is just filled with twigs. I can just put twigs in just constantly without having to chop and everything. I'm pretty sure that pan's getting hot. Yep, pan's getting hot. Look at that, it instantly turned white on the edges. See, now you're back to rocket twig stove territory. Let's put it back on there. Now that second one took forever because this fire's almost died down to nothing. That's like a warming fire. That's for keeping your food warm. So let's dump it in here. I love these non-stick pans. Alright, now it's time to just sit here and eat. I love eggs. Oh, it's so good. I prefer grape, but this orange will do. Or as some southerners say, orange. One thing's for sure, Bigfoot ain't here, because the smells emanating from the forest would have made him come out. Alright, to review. Backpacker stoves, dump twigs in, super fast. You can cook. Add more twigs, burst of heat. Flames die down. Add twigs, burst of heat. Bushcraft style with rocks. You want to get together the rocks as tight as you can with as small an opening as you can. And once you get the fire going, add twigs, burst of heat. Dies down, adds twigs, burst of heat. And you want a little air hole underneath. You get super hot super fast. It's up to you what you want to do. During the burn ban, I'm going to carry a backpacker stove. So good. Alright. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Unfortunately, we're getting back to 98 to 99 degrees next week. So, if it continues into the next week, we'll have another home video. Till then, take it easy, enjoy life, get out when the temperatures are good. We shall, and experiment. And we shall see you in the next one.